Physics Lab number 2 is entitled Graphing Part 1. It is often easiest to learn from our data and gain understanding from our data by putting it on a graph. However, we can only obtain this additional information if we do our graphs well. In this graph, Part 1 of graphing, you will practice dividing your available graph space by your total number of measurements so that you have a good size for the squares on your graph. For instance, you do not want to make each square on your graph worth 10 feet if each of your measurements is only 1 foot, as it would be hard to tell where to make your measurements. Also, in this graph, you will discuss the use of the origin. The data point of the origin is 0, 0. In this lab, that is the same as saying that if you held the ball at 0, dropped it, it would then bounce to 0. Which is indeed true. Therefore, in this lab, the origin should be included in your graph. Also, this lab is going to ask you to examine the sources of error. Whenever you perform an experiment, you should think of where the experiment could be improved. Simply stating human error is not sufficient. Human error is saying the same thing in that you messed up. If there is human error, you need to repeat the lab. If there are certain types of equipment or other things that could be done different or better, those are the types of things you should be listed. So, in summary, human error is never the right answer to one of these lab questions.